Hey guys, it's Rory with searchinchao.com, and today we are at MWC 2018 to check out Sony's brand new XZ2 and XZ2 compact smartphones. So we'll start with the Xperia XZ2, and as you can see, it has a brand new body. This is a lot more glass, and it has this nice rounded metal frame which is very reminiscent of the HTC U11. I personally like that they went for a brand new design because it means ditching the old overused body of the previous Xperia X series smartphones, and it's refreshing, you know. It's not the prettiest smartphone, but it's nice that they're trying something new, and it's always something that I can appreciate. So as far as specs go, this thing is powered by all the goodies that you'd expect from a flagship Android smartphone. It's got a Snapdragon 845 processor, mated to 4 gigs of RAM and 64 gigs of internal storage. Keeping the lights on is a 3180 mAh battery, which is pretty big by Sony standards, and thanks to the new glass body, this phone now supports wireless charging. It's also IP68 water resistant, which is good. And my favorite thing is that it retains the dedicated camera shutter. As far as the camera goes, it has the same 19 megapixel motion eye camera that you'd find on the XZ Premium, so it can still do the juicy 960 frames per second super duper slow motion. But this time it bumps resolution up to full HD, which I think is pretty impressive. However, my biggest problem with the super slow motion is the way it's captured, where it relies on your own reflexes to capture the really fast motion, I guess. And that remains the same here, so I don't think that's the best way. I honestly think that Samsung's Galaxy S9 has a better idea of how that does, but that only shoots better idea of how that does.
It's okay. I didn't really understand what I was saying either, but what I was trying to say is that I think the automatic motion detection thing on the Galaxy S9 is a better implementation of the 960 frames per second ultra slow motion feature. Back to the video.
But that only shoots 720p, so this has better quality, but I think a worse execution.
Oh, I also forgot to mention that it's the first smartphone in the world that can also record 4K HDR content with the camera.
So on the XZ2, you also get better front-facing stereo speakers, but that comes at a compromise, because as you can see, there is no headphone jack. Sony also added this really cool thing to the XZ2, which is called dynamic vibration, or dynamic vibration system. So it's kind of like the dual shock system on their PS4 controllers, where the phone will intelligently identify the audio that's being pumped through its speakers when you play a video, and sort of vibrate the phone to match that audio signature. So you can think of it as like a subwoofer, I guess, that's built into your phone. It's not the most game-changing thing, but it is a very cool feature and something I definitely appreciate, and it sort of elevates watching videos on your smartphone, which is great. Speaking of watching things on your smartphone, you'll notice that the Xperia XZ2 has a brand new screen. This one is an 18:9 aspect ratio display that measures 5.7 inches diagonally. Unfortunately, it only pushes a resolution of Full HD+, so you're not getting the 4K resolution that you'd find on the Xperia XZ Premium, but this panel supports HDR, so you'll still get really nice colors and contrast. It also looks really good with really nice viewing angles, being that IPS display, so I really don't have many complaints here. You'll also notice that the fingerprint scanner is now at the back of the phone, which is something I definitely like compared to the previous side-mounted one where you could only unlock with one hand. And that's about it for the Sony Xperia XZ2. Now let's take a look at the more interesting smartphone, at least to me anyway, the Sony Xperia XZ Compact. And this is the Xperia XZ2 Compact. As its name would suggest, it is the much smaller phone. but it still has an 18:9 aspect ratio display that pushes Full HD Plus resolution. The only difference is that it is now 5 inches instead of 5.7 inches. That means that the footprint of this smartphone is really small. So its screen is still slightly bigger than the previous compact versions, but it is still a very, very small phone. However, the reduction in size doesn't mean that it is a worse phone. It still packs all the high-end flagship features of the bigger XZ2. So it's still got a Snapdragon 845 processor, 4 gigs of RAM and 64 gigs of internal storage. It's also water resistant and it has front-facing stereo speakers. The only differences between this and the big one is that, number one, this thing does not have the dynamic vibration system, so you don't get that cool sort of vibration when you play videos with audio. Number two, it doesn't have wireless charging. Number three, it comes in this body. So it looks a bit different, but crucially, it is made from polycarbonate instead of glass. And that's pretty disappointing because that makes the phone feel pretty cheap. For a phone this premium, you don't really want to feel this kind of materials when you pick it up. Still, the size is really nice. The footprint is awesome. It's basically what I've been asking for this whole time, and it still has all those flagship specs. The only thing is that you get a smaller battery, but that's, you know, physics. As a whole, I think this is the more interesting device for me because I've wanted a relatively big screen in a very, very small body, and this is a relatively big screen in a very, very small body with all the high-end flagship features. So yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to when this will arrive in Malaysia. But for now, that's it from me. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Click on the bell icon. Like us on Facebook. And if you know what kind of And if you want to know what kind of gear we use to film videos like these, the links will be in the video description. That's it from me at Mobile World Congress 2018 today. I will catch you in the next video, guys. See you. Ah! My bad. Can we do that again?
Is it okay over here?
Yeah, sorry. Just now it slipped out of my hand.